Let me cut on it.
Everybody, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I know it's been about 3, maybe 4 days since I've posted, but I definitely had a video to post, my workout video, my workout journal, and I deleted it by accident. I really did delete it by accident. Like, I really worked hard on it, and it came out, like, so nice, and I deleted it because I was trying to film on the same day, and my camera was full of, like, pictures and stuff I didn't need, so I, of course, deleted my entire workout video. Yeah, so anyway, today I'm gonna have a little something different from you guys. I'm gonna have a little something different. It's not gonna be the same, with working out or anything. But today I do want to do a story time, and this title is named "I Cheated." Take it how you will. I decided to be that blunt because I really wanted to catch attention because of the story and what it consists of and how I kind of got myself into a plethora of BS. But I'm gonna say, like, I started when I was like a freshman at my college. I was not on the, let's say, like, the dating role. Like, I wasn't trying to, like, be in a relationship. I wasn't trying to, see myself with someone. Although that I had been with somebody before I came to school in Atlanta. I was with a friend, and we tried to get closer, but we had some complications because of that. And when I was here, I basically found other people to talk to, not in my school, but, like, on the internets and whatnot. Please don't do that, because whatever. Just don't do it. When I say the internets, I really mean Instagram. Like, I didn't, like, search for people, but whatever. So, pretty much, like, I was laid back with the whole dating situation. I did have a friend group. They were really, really nice to me, and they kind of took me under their wing. I do know a couple people that are still, that were in that group that are still at this school, and we talked about, doing a Q&A or story time with them, but that's later on in the future. Anyway, as I was, being myself, or, going through the world and its motions, I had stumbled across somebody that I found on a social network. We can call him Hazel. So I met Hazel, and Hazel was kind of like not really talking to me, like, in my DMs, but more so like comment wise, and was like, "Oh, you look really pretty, blah blah blah." So me taking initiative and being, as boisterous as I am, I clicked on his Instagram, and, like, we sparked up a conversation, and from there we just talked and, like, really got to know each other. So Hazel was really, really sweet to me at one point. Like, I remember for President's Day, I got the opportunity to go back home to Atlanta, and I got to see Hazel, and, that was pretty much like our first date or whatever, and we went to the mall and the movies, like, twice, and, like, we had a good time, and there was really I feel like there were no red flag signs, but whatever. So, as we gotten closer or whatever, I do remember I came back, and the weirdest thing happened. The weirdest situation happened. It's still, like, one of the most devastating things, and it still is to me to this day, like, a weird, weird experience. But I went home, and, several weeks later, and we were still talking, and like, this day is, like, the weirdest thing that's, like, ever happened. I remember I woke up, and, like, I went outside to take out the trash, and this is, like, a Saturday. I stepped on this lizard. I think I stepped on it or somebody else stepped on it. Either way, it was bleeding out, and I was like, oh my god, bleeding lizard. So I definitely took my flip flop and like dug like this sad little unsteep hole. Like I really did. It's sand here, like in Florida, so I kind of like swept the sand over to make room for like this little sad corpse of a lizard, and I packed him in there pretty well or whatever. And that was like a sympathy funeral, if you may, or whatever. So I threw out my trash, and then I came back inside, and everything was pretty whatever with the day. And I went over my friend's house. I was not supposed to go over his house. I was not invited to his house, but I did go. And when I went over there, they were all talking somewhat about death, about what their, lives have been symbolizing in some type of death that they've gone through. And everything I was hearing was unique and different, and it really just, it kind of stuck with me. Like, why are they necessarily talking about death and how it works out? And that, like, they were talking about, I know somebody had like a dad, and their dad passed, and they were talking about like these little signs that they were getting, that their dad was kind of trying to talk to them, from like a paranormal state. So when I heard that, and I heard the other stories that followed, it kind of just stuck with me. So I went home later that night. My roommate was doing hair, and I was just talking to them, and I get a phone call from one of my dearest friends, and she is calling me and like, what are you doing? Where are you? Like, really concerned, and I'm like, are you okay? Because I'm fine. And she began to tell me that the quarterback of my high school had died in a car accident. And I was like, what? Like, this kid was so talented. Like, he was on ESPN, like, all these things and all this stuff he, like, kind of had lined up for him. And just to hear, like, how he died and the way he died and who he died with, it was just beyond devastating. And the entire school was in mourning for about a month. And when I was talking to her about that, I called, like, alumni kept calling me, I kept calling them, like, we're like, oh, like, what's going on, like, trying to figure out, what's, like, everybody's out of reach. I'm in Florida, my friend was in Tennessee, somebody else was in Alabama, like, all this stuff was happening, and no one was really, like, together, really. I know my class wasn't, my friends, we were not, on the same page, we were not in the same state, and there was nothing that we could do, and I felt really, really helpless. I felt like there was nothing I could do, nothing I could do to contribute. I couldn't go to their little balloon thing. Like, I couldn't go to the candle lightings. I couldn't do none of that because I'm in a different state. So it just really made me feel like helpless. And I called Hazel. Well, Hazel called me either way. And he was just like, are you okay? Like, you sound really, really sad. And I'm like, there's nothing I can do. Like, something terrible just happened, and I have absolutely no say so, or I can't even give, my condolences. And basically, he was like, that's not your fault, or whatever. And he was said, I'm your boyfriend, and I'm here for you. And I said, wait a minute, back up. We were we were talking. No one initiated anything with the boyfriend or the girlfriend or whatever. So after he said that, I was like really confused. But of course I like addressed it. Like, what do you mean, boyfriend? And he was like, well, yeah. I said, I'm your boyfriend, and I'm pretty sure you're not going to change that fact. And I didn't. So that's basically how we ended up dating and talking. So we were just on again. We weren't on again, off again, but we definitely were on for a while, and he was just really, like, not annoying. He was just really, like, sweet to me, and definitely, always checked up on me. We used to watch Atlanta together, like on the phone simultaneously. And we used to do a lot of stuff like that. And he just, throughout time, I'm not sure what it is. Like, I don't know if this kid is like secretly evil or has other things going on in his life that he just feels like he kind of had to take it out on me. But literally, he was the sweetest person and turned into the worst boyfriend, the worst boyfriend I've ever had, ever. So basically, he wasn't like controlling. He wasn't evil to, make me do things that I didn't want to do. He didn't do anything like that. He was just really smarky. Like, he had these smart remarks, and I would just be like, yo, what is the point of you even saying that? Like, there's no, helpful thing in to say that. I would seek out for help from him, like, a lot, and the response would be something totally, like, ridiculous, like something rude you might say to somebody you don't care about. But if I'm your girlfriend, why would you say that? But that's another topic. Anyway, we went on about that, and I gotten tired of like dealing with him because we weren't in the same like state and we weren't in the same places. So I just felt like I could do better. Like, I can be somewhere else instead of going back and forth with somebody that is in a different state. So I just laid low. There's this kid that I knew. I didn't really know him. I knew of him. And I don't know. I just seemed to like him. I liked his spirit. I liked what I didn't know. Because a lot of things here I didn't know about because I went to a predominantly black school. And when I come here, it's like a whole different culture. Like, it's different people, different ethnicities, different, lifestyles, and I was just not used to that. So I admired him because he was different, and I didn't know much about, his background. So, my friends were like egging it on, saying, oh, you should get to know him, you should get to know him. We can call him, oh God, we can call him Mega. We're gonna call him Mega. Anyway, Mega was definitely a sweet dude, just always laid back, and he had a couple of issues, but I don't think he wasn't really addressing those issues. He just kind of like went with the flow, and he taught me a lot of things. He showed me wild movies that I will never ever forget. He literally showed me this movie about it's called Natural Born Killers. Yo, that movie is insane. It's crazy, but like I really liked it. I'm an art major. Like, I like art stuff like that. It's not necessarily art either. It was just really the cinematography was like really nice, and the way the movie was done was even better. So I just really liked that movie, and it was different things that he showed me that I really, really, treasure to this day. Like, I really care about. And we were just me and Mega were dating for at least like 6 months, almost 5. No, that sounds dumb. Like 5 months, almost 6. That sounds better. So it was weird. We had just kind of hit rock bottom somewhere in our relationship. It was not even like, okay, I'm done. It was more so arguing, on and off arguing, on and off arguing. The arguing was really blurry. Like, it didn't have a necessary, like, objective. Like, it didn't really have, like, a reason to have a... We really didn't have a good reason to have an argument in the first place, but we would argue a lot, and it was a lot of political differences as well. He was a supporter of the office. He was a supporter of the president in office, and me being who I am, me being where I'm from, I was open-minded enough to, try to understand where he stood, but at the end of the day, I wasn't quite getting it. Not saying that if you're part of, the Confederate Party, I'm not, dissing you. I don't diss Republics. I don't diss anybody. but I pretty much felt like I went out on a limb to learn about somebody, and to learn about a different different place in our political differences. Like, I tried to understand where his argument came from, and I feel like a lot of people don't even do that, but it is something I tried to do. However, it just didn't really work out. So we just had that one night where how everything just explodes, and it's like all the aftermath of whatever. I remember this day vividly. We got into an argument, and I had to go to work, and I left on a sour note. I tried to call, like I tried to text, even though I told him like block my number, delete this, delete that. He did not hesitate. He deleted everything within seconds. Like, seriously, that quick. Anyway, we were he just did that, and by the time I got back to his house, all my things were like packed and folded at the door. And I'm like, yo. I'm like, okay, well, this is getting wild. Like, there's no way that this is happening. So, of course, like, there's like a get together somewhere. So I went over there to like confront him about it. And it just kept growing. It just got bigger and bigger and bigger. And, I finally went home. And that was weird for me because I was never home at the time. I was always at his house. So I was really going through a lot. That whole situation just made me like really, really depressed and upset. And I went home, like this was around a hurricane, and I had to go home because like my family recruited me. Anyway, I was really thankful for that break though, because I needed to just decompress and get somewhere to calm down and really work on myself and how I need to handle myself mentally and whatnot. So that's technically, how I did that. And we pretty much broke up, like, when that was happening. But before we had broke up, like, a break before, because we would do, I think it was Thanksgiving break, Hazel popped up back into my life because I decided to call over and over and over and text and be weird. So like I pretty much got what I deserved though. I wanted to be friends with him. I wanted to find middle ground. I wanted to just talk. I wanted us to be, mutual friends. And when I talked to him, I was getting very upset. Like, he had bought me this jersey, he wanted it back, and I was upset about him getting it back because he bought it for me and blah, blah, blah. So, he pulled up, and I talked to him for like 5 minutes. And pretty much the conversation was about me moving on, like, what I decided to do concerning our relationship, like where I decided to move on and I decided to, talk to Mega. And he was just basically saying, well, nobody told you to get a new boyfriend. Nobody told you to go do these things. And you want this shirt back so bad. I don't understand why you want it back so bad when, you're with another person. And I'm a Pisces, let that be known. So I love everything. I don't know why. I wish I did not love everything. And I wish I was not so freaking passionate about every single thing. I really am. Like, I really genuinely care about everything. It's so annoying. But anyway, he was talking to me and we were talking and he constantly kept trying to kiss me. Like, constant. So it was really difficult on my part because I still have feelings for him. And I definitely did not even address, having feelings for him to myself. Like, I didn't admit it to myself. Or I didn't tell anybody else, like, oh yeah, I still miss so-and-so. But, no. He was, egging that on as much as possible. And instead of leaving, instead of getting out, instead of just walking away completely, I gave in. So that's how that went. And I don't regret what I did. Because had I not done exactly that, I don't even know what the outcome would have been. The thing with Mega is I really did love and genuinely care about Mega. But what was going on, I was so caught up in his world and doing things that he wanted me to do and being like, always there for him. I completely forgot about myself. I completely neglected myself and what I wanted to do and where I wanted to go. And my friends kept trying to tell me, like, you are just all in his face all the time. You don't even have time for us anymore. That's all you see now is Mega. Like, you don't come over here. And it's like, okay, yeah, whatever. You're just nagging. But once that happened, once I was like kind of out of his wing into somebody else's, I realized that I was just too under him. So fast forward back to where I was so devastated because we broke up. So during this devastating period, I was, at home. I went to my favorite place in Atlanta, which is Little Five Points. And my mom was trying to cheer me up because I was crying like every 5 seconds. And we had passed, like, they have like a strip where there's like art and stuff, and people are always selling art, selling jewelry, trying to get your business some type of way. So there were these women. They were like all, jeweled out. They didn't necessarily like, Balenciagas or nothing, but they definitely had like, crystals, and they were very zen and vibe friendly. And so, like, they were really sweet and nice. And my mom told them, she was like, oh, she's kind of going through boy troubles right now. And as soon as she said the word boy, they, like, dropped what they were doing. And they all, like, surrounded me and gave me a hug. And this one lady gave me a bracelet, and it had, don't quote me, it had a crystal that's supposed to help you with feelings. And I'm not sure if that helped. I definitely did wear the mess out of it, so it broke. But I always wore it, and it was supposed to help with feelings and making, your emotional self stronger. And I definitely think now, like, it's worked a lot. Instead of me wearing it, like, I have been wearing it almost like every day. So now I just feel as if I do have like a stronger weight to myself when it comes to my feelings, but who knows? I hope so. I definitely think I do. But from what I just said, like from what I did or whatever, it's not okay. It's not okay. But it is a mistake. It was a mistake. But I would not. What I would just give you, my word of advice is to always have self control, because if you are in a relationship without feeling like you can control yourself when it comes to your emotions, or if you still feel like you have feelings towards somebody that you were dealing with in the past, then you need to work on yourself personally before you get into anything else, because whatever you do, it's not gonna, like, that person can only bring you what they got. They can't replace all the memories and stuff that you have with that other person. So just understand that you need to work on yourself before anybody. So any relationship, anything you do, you need to kind of backtrack yourself. I don't regret this, like I said. It's definitely not something that I'm proud of. I'm not saying like, oh, I'm a proud cheater, I'm gonna cheat on you. Like, no, that's not what I mean at all. What I mean is that I'm human, and what I've done, like, I have lost a very good friend. So let that be known. Like, Mega was really special to me, and I decided to, of course I told him, and he has every right to be angry and upset and pissed. So, our friendship and our whatever ended, and he really doesn't. I barely even see him. I don't even know if he goes to this school anymore. Like, I do not see this kid. But I do know that I really hope that he's moved on to like a better person for him. I hope he's in a better space. I hope he is mentally, physically, and emotionally well. And I also hope that, anybody that you deal with, you should always want them to be better than what they were. And I, of course, want me to be better than what I was, and I want to be better than what I am today. Like, I always want to improve myself and work on myself. So just know that, there's no such thing as perfect. I'm not getting on here like, oh yeah, be perfect. I'm not trying to do that. I'm really not trying to do that. I'm just trying to let everybody know that, you can see people and you judge them based on what you feel like they'll be doing, what they do, but you really don't know until you talk to that person. So I was really thinking, like, people, I am 5 foot even, by the way, so I'm very short. So a lot of people feel like, oh, I'm a Miss Goody Two Shoes and I don't ever, and I'm an angel and I don't do any evil. Like, listen, we are all sinners. Okay? We are all sinners. Not even being funny or egotistic or conceited, saying that, oh, I'm actually a terrible person. I'm not saying that at all. All I'm saying is it's natural to want to be with somebody. It's natural to have these feelings and not really have a resolution for those feelings. But it is all in how you control yourself and how you want to express yourself. So, if you don't want to be known for certain things, don't do it. Once is bad enough. But once you do that thing, it's a mistake, and it's a mistake. But if it's something that you've ignored, the mistake phase, it's something that you continue to do on and on and on again, it is no longer a mistake. It is something you choose to do. Point blank. But my choice, hopefully, is to, move on. I am in a relationship now. I'm really, really excited. Very excited about, like, where we're at, and I definitely feel like I'm more mature enough to handle somebody of such grace and honor. I feel like I am ready to move past the childish things that I've done in the past, and I'm ready to, I really feel for this person. It's more than what I felt for Hazel, what I felt for Mega. It's more than words can really express at this point, and I am thrilled, excited, and I'm just more than happy to be where I'm at right now. And I pray that I have enough, knowledge to go through with this relationship and the outcomes being spectacular instead of something disappointing. So, yeah. But anyway, thank you for watching, guys. I'm so sorry again about the workout video. It is coming out. However, tomorrow I will be filming swimming with the manatees because we're going on a trip, and I can't wait to do a vlog, and it's hopefully going to be great. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. Please do not forget to subscribe, like, and comment. I'll see you on the flip side.
Standing over, how they greet my guys. Straight out the mud like a clean no life. Never had time for the tea to kind on.